Naming parenting styles after animals has apparently become all the rage, apparently, from dolphins to elephants to everything in between. So if you're a strict parent, we've got them here, you are called a tiger parent. I think we've heard that one. But if you follow a more laid-back parenting style, it's known as jellyfish parenting. We've also got dolphin parenting.
What's that?
Elephant.
What's a dolphin?
Firm yet flexible parent who relies heavily on social communication and interaction. Their goal is to be centred around balance. That's a word salad, isn't it? What the heck does that mean? I mean, seriously, what does that mean?
I think the whole thing is so tricky because they keep trying to put parents into boxes. Like, you can't put kids into boxes. You can't put parents into boxes because I feel I have to parent differently for each child. They've got different requirements and one needs more of me in a different way.
And different stages of life.
Definitely, because I've got a 4-year-old, a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old, and what the 16-year-old needs is definitely not what the 4-year-old needs. So, I don't know, I'm a jelly elephant, tiger, all of the above.
Well, I was thinking chameleon, if we've got to go for animals, or shapeshifter or whatever.
Shapeshifter parent.
I mean, it's like there isn't a set of rules. You know, there's that cliche, oh, your parenting doesn't come with a manual. Yeah. That's the truth. And so, really, it's working on instinct most of the time, isn't it?
Yeah,
but we seem to want a set of rules that just doesn't exist.
I feel like the problem is with this modern New Age parenting, it makes parents feel guilty or uncomfortable or, like, you know, judged, because the reality, like you said, we are learning, unfortunately, on the job.
I know.
So
Can you imagine your mum feeling guilty?
My mum...
My mum.
Go in your room. Go in your room. That was it. In fact, my mum didn't have to tell me go to the room. She'd give me the straight look. I knew what time it is. You know, for me, I don't know what it was called back then, hardcore Jamaican parenting, that in itself. But having the discipline, I think it worked for me. Each child, like you said, is different. My mum was hardcore. There was no playing around. Don't make her repeat herself twice. But then the love that she gave me was so fulfilling. I mean, the food, everything, the celebrations, the laughter. For me, it worked out well.
Do you think we've gone a bit soft on parenting?
I think we know so much. But we know so much, and our kids
Shall I go to my room? Sorry, Myleene.
I think a lot of our confidence gets taken away as parents. And I think that, you know, my daughter was, every time I come up with something, she says, did you learn that from TikTok? You're watching those psychology. But I am. Because I want to know, you know, as much as I can and have the tools to deal with as much as I can. But it just feels so difficult sometimes, you know. And also, you're also, I think, relying on other parents. You know, if I lay down some rules and other parents say that it's OK, and my daughter will then think I'm the worst parent in the world because the bedtime, or she's allowed her phone at this time, or she's allowed to go somewhere else. Like, it's like you have to all work together.
Yeah.
I think the issue is we've got so much other people parenting our children. Social media, the government, and they're not in the household, you know, and there's certain things, facilities that's not there for them. But I think, you know, something we were saying, it takes a community to raise these children. We're seeing this and what's going on
and also,
now.
And they do need an adult. I think, you know, you've got to remember, a lot of children, this is not in any way, you know, assuming they don't know what they're doing, but you don't get your frontal lobe. It doesn't fully develop until you're 25.
Wow.
So it's through no fault of their own, but someone still needs to be the adult making those decisions, especially the emotional decisions.
Which is sometimes why, you know, because we've kind of said, like back in the day, you say, go to your room. Why? Because I told you so, right? And in modern times we say, well, actually, that's not enough. You've got to explain to children.
Yeah.
But actually, if we're talking a different language, and I think we often are, because, you know, we're whatever age we are, we're middle age or whatever, and you're talking to a teen who's coming from a completely different perspective, maybe the most effective thing is, because I said so. Because that is the authority, because they're not going to believe you anyway, or they're not going to accept it. You could sit and explain until the cows come home.
But then how do you enforce
what
because
you
I said
think.
so? That's really tricky.
Well, her mum enforced
that was before,
it.
and
Did your
now...
mum enforce it?
Yeah, a Filipino mum. It's the same kind of, I had the look.
I think we have to find the things that we know, you know, whether it's taking away a certain item, whether it's showing them that their behaviour, there is a consequence, regards to maybe you can't go out this weekend. But there has to be something, there has to be some kind of form of, like you said, of, personally, I think, authority. Because, you know, once they get to a certain age, they're out of the house making decisions from what they've learned in the house.
Yeah.
You know, and we are living in kind of crazy times. So we need to make sure that we can, whether you're a single parent, two-house parent, or whether it's a sisterhood, a brotherhood that's raising these kids as community, that they know a line. They have someone that they think, you know what, this is going to weigh a consequence, because if we don't, then we're in trouble.
I mean, Nadia,
There was no discussion from my mum. I'm just remembering what her version of up to your room was. She would just come behind us and we'd, like, be charging up the stairs while, like, she's slapping your bum. And I always remember I'd get carpet burn on my cheek. Oh, because I'd be trying to go so far.
Did you ever get a backhand? Did you get a backhand?
No, not the back. No, the front.
No, the backhand on your mouth.
No, never got that. Oh. No. But my sister... But the soap in the mouth for swearing...
But did it work? Your mum being strict like that, did it work? Yeah.
And as soon as we were 18, she suddenly started swearing, which I felt very, very cheated on, I have to say.
I'm not being funny. My mum's not alive right now, and I'm still scared of her, trust me. Certain things I do in the dark, and I think, Mummy, I don't think you'd approve of that.
They say that they become your internal voice.
They do.
They say your parents become your Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, and we know things have changed. There's certain things that's not acceptable that maybe was happening back in our days, and it is about changing that.
And this is a reassuring thing. Some of the things my mum and dad said to me that I completely dismissed, even now, are coming to the forefront of my brain. So you might think it's all just going into the ether, but it comes back.
So
yeah.
true.
Can you remember one thing that was on repeat that your parents said to you? Because what I come back to, my dad would always say, "You're going over the score, young lady. You're going over the score." That was always what he used to say.
My mum used to always say, "Be careful of the boys. All they want is your sugar."
I think that's a perfect way to close that discussion.